For nearly 2 decades, one organization has been shaping how Africa tells its science, environment, health, and agriculture stories. Founded in October 2005, the Media for Environment, Science, Health, and Agriculture, Mesha, an association of journalists and communicators specialized in environmental, agriculture, health, technology, and development reporting, began as a bold outfit to empower journalists and communicators translate complex scientific knowledge into simple stories that inform, inspire, and drive change. Mesha has steadily built a reputation as a trusted convener, bringing together journalists, scientists, policymakers, civil society, and development partners around profound scientific issues facing Africa and the world. In 2025, Mesha marked a memorable event celebrating 20 years of existence. Coincidentally, the event was held alongside the opening ceremony of the International Federation of Agricultural Journalists Congress, which Mesha hosted. The Global Congress brought together nearly 200 journalists. Over the years, Mesha has mobilized and hosted high-impact congresses and conferences, workshops, and policy dialogues at national, regional, and international levels focused on health, agriculture, climate change, gender equality, and environmental journalism across Africa, hence helping turn complex science into easy-to-understand stories.
For the African Conference of Science Journalists, we've done about 6 of them. And then we have the Kenya Science Journalists Congress that we have also done about 4 of them. But I must say that we have done much better than that because we realized scientists would want to meet journalists under one roof, and that hardly happens. And so we decided that we bring in topical issues that happen in each and every country in Africa, particularly things that are happening cross-border. The things that really affect people scientifically are almost uniform, but countries are at different levels. So when these journalists from different countries come together, they are able to learn it from each other. What each country is doing in terms of their science, what are the differences, what is it that other countries can pick so that they too can do the science that can touch lives back home.
These platforms have provided credible spaces where journalists engage directly with grassroots communities, researchers, health professionals, environmental experts, and decision makers, translating science into stories that inform public debate and policy action.
The other gap that we realized is that Africa is big, and many journalists were suffering from what we call professional loneliness. So bringing them together basically means that they can network, they can exchange ideas, they can do collaborations in terms of cross-border stories, and they can also, recommend each other. The scientists come in very handy to help us, achieve this. And so scientists from all over Africa have attended our congresses, have attended our conferences, and they find a lot of effective networking and effective relationships being built out of this for the good of science in Africa.
I have been attending the conference for several years now, and one thing that I really appreciate about this conference is that it brings together really experienced science journalists and gives them an opportunity to interact with scientists from across the continent. And I think this is very important, especially in an era of disinformation, misinformation. So having journalists speak directly with scientists, I think, is absolutely critical to tackling this menace, I would say, of misinformation and disinformation that particularly those of us in the public health field face. So my experiences have been very, very positive. I've had the privilege of speaking about my work at this conference. And another thing that I have appreciated is that the journalists are very, very engaged. They ask really intelligent questions, and they provide really insightful perspectives. And they help us as scientists to really think about how we deliver our message in a way that is understandable to the general public. And
through these conferences and congresses, the organization has amplified African voices in global conversations, elevated evidence-based reporting that shape public understanding and policy. These forums have fostered networks that continue to collaborate long after events conclude.
I've learned a lot in those conferences. First, they have shaped my reporting skills as a science journalist, because at the conferences we normally have scientists, policy makers, whom we come together and we do conversations which build our stories. I've also created my networks, especially from scientists, and they have been my strongest pillar, especially in reporting science, because they have been helping me in simplifying those science or scientific jargons into simpler language or also into local language.
In 2012, I was privileged to be sponsored by Mesha to participate in the Africa Science Journalists Conference, which was a great and historic conference for me, in the sense that it gave us the platform to meet as Africa Science journalists across the continent, to interact among ourselves, and most importantly, to build our capacity in the areas of reporting accurately on health, agriculture, environment, and then other scientific developments. It also gave us the opportunity to have an interaction, a healthy one, with scientists, to bridge the gap between scientists and journalists, which has been the main challenge confronting science journalists in Africa, because we always complain of a wide gap existing between us and the science.
What makes these gatherings unique and impactful? One may ask.
In each and every meeting, international meeting, we come up with the daily bulletin, and we also do a congress or a conference report. The daily bulletin is where all the presentations are captured, and it is not conference kind of reporting. It is where journalists analyze the presentations that were made in the congress or in the conference, and then they come up with an article. Now, we also do what we call field tours, and the field tours readily gel with the presentations that are made in each and every conference. So that makes our conferences very, very unique.
The success of convening these high-level forums has been made possible by the help of various partners locally and globally. Nearly 20 years since its establishment, Mesha's convening role remains central to its mission. In an era of misinformation, climate uncertainty, and rapid science advancement, Mesha continues to mobilize inclusive, credible, and solution-oriented forums that place journalists at the heart of evidence-driven change.
For me, it has helped build my capacity as a science journalist to identify issues confronting my country as Ghana and then the Africa as a continent, and then how best to write my stories, provoking policy makers to ensure that the issues that I report on attract policy interventions. I've also been able to gather more knowledge to be able to impact this knowledge onto the younger science journalists. And I would want to take this opportunity to commend and say a big thank you to Mesha for that opportunity given me.
With a membership of about 120 members, Mesha aims to improve the quality, depth, and ethic in science reporting, turning science into shared understanding and understanding into action. Reporting for Mesha, I am Christine Ochogo.